For years, Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines made it look effortless. The laughter, the faith, the 5 kids, the empire built from dust and drywall. But one quiet moment, far away from cameras and applause, cracked that image in a way no one expected. After Joanna's diagnosis, something shifted. A house reveal went wrong. A sentence slipped out that was never meant to be heard. And suddenly, the man known for fixing everything was left standing still, unsure, emotional, and preparing for a future he never imagined. Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines didn't begin as a polished power couple. Their story started quietly in 2001 at an auto shop in Waco, Texas, owned by Joanna's father. Chip walked in one day full of confidence and big talk. Joanna barely noticed him at first. She was more interested in his roommate, but Chip's persistence and easy charm slowly shifted her attention. Their first date was anything but magical. Chip showed up more than an hour late, and Joanna was unimpressed. Still, there was something about his fearless, risk-taking mindset that lingered with her. He talked about ideas that felt reckless and unrealistic, yet oddly sincere. They drifted apart for a few months until Chip, spurred by a $50 bet with his roommate, waited as long as possible before calling her again. When he finally did, the timing felt right. This time, the connection stuck. By 2002, they were engaged. Chip proposed in his own unconventional way, convincing Joanna they were going to a concert before driving instead to a small town tied to his family's past. After the proposal, he surprised her again by letting her design her own engagement ring. They married in May 2003 at a historic mansion in Waco and stepped into married life with more hope than money. Their first home together was an 800-square-foot fixer that smelled terrible and needed everything. Money was tight, disagreements were frequent, and every project tested their patience. But those early struggles defined their partnership. Chip dreamed big and chased possibilities, while Joanna focused on details and execution. With just $5,000, they opened a tiny Magnolia market, welcoming about 40 customers on the first day, unaware it would one day redefine Waco itself. As their business grew, so did their family. Their first son, Drake, was born in 2005, followed by Ella Rose, Duke, Emmy Kay, and later Crew. Despite expanding ambitions, their children remained the center of their lives, shielded from the spotlight whenever possible. Everything changed in 2011 when a production company approached them about filming a home renovation show. After careful thought and a push from Chip's adventurous spirit, they agreed. A demo reel led to Fixer Upper on HGTV, propelling them into national fame. On May 23, 2013, life quietly shifted for Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines. That night, the first episode of Fixer Upper aired on HGTV, taking the couple from Waco, Texas, and placing them squarely in front of a national audience. What viewers saw wasn't a glossy, overproduced makeover show. It was a real marriage, imperfect, playful, sometimes messy, unfolding inside half-renovated homes. Chip's humor brought spontaneity and warmth, while Joanna's careful eye gave each space a sense of calm and intention. Together, they felt genuine, and audiences responded immediately. The appeal went far beyond shiplap and demo days. Viewers weren't just tuning in for before and after reveals. They were watching a partnership built on trust, disagreement, laughter, and shared purpose. The show's success grew quickly, leading to 5 seasons and early discussions about more. As the cameras rolled in Waco, Chip and Joanna were quietly redefining what fame could look like, rooted in family, faith, and pride in their Texas hometown rather than celebrity polish. As their audience grew, so did their ambitions. On October 30th, 2015, they purchased a pair of abandoned cotton silos in downtown Waco and opened Magnolia Market at the silos. The project was about more than retail. It was a deliberate effort to breathe life back into the heart of the city. What began as a market soon expanded into a destination, complete with a bakery, food trucks, and open green space where families could gather. Visitors came from across the country, turning the silos into a symbol of Waco's revival and the Gaines' commitment to staying rooted where they started. Between 2016 and 2017, the Magnolia brand grew rapidly. They launched Magnolia Journal, opened a bed and breakfast, and shared their personal journey in their memoir, The Magnolia Story. Despite the pace, family remained central. With 4 children at home, Joanna in particular was mindful of protecting their sense of normalcy amid the growing attention. Then, on September 26, 2017, the couple announced that Fixer Upper would end after 5 seasons. The decision surprised fans and wasn't made lightly. The show had changed their lives, but it had also demanded time they wanted to reclaim. Stepping away felt necessary, a pause to refocus on family and reimagine what came next. Even after stepping back from Fixer Upper, Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines were never truly gone from public view. In November 2017, they introduced their Target Home collection, Hearth and Hand with Magnolia, bringing their clean, lived-in aesthetic into homes far beyond Waco. Just weeks later, they shared news that felt even more personal. They were expecting their 5th child. In June 2018, baby crew arrived, marking another milestone where family and career once again seemed to move in lockstep. Life at home continued to grow just as quickly. In August 2019, Chip surprised Joanna with a new puppy, adding to a household already full of children and animals. The Gaines property was lively: dogs, cats, cows, chickens, goats. But Chip's spontaneous gestures remained part of the rhythm of their marriage, small reminders of joy amid busy days. Then, in August 2020, the couple confirmed what fans had quietly hoped for. Fixer Upper was returning. This time, it would air on their own Magnolia network, developed in partnership with Discovery Channel. The revival, titled Fixer Upper, Welcome Home, kept the heart of the original while offering a more intimate look at how their family and their priorities had evolved. When Magnolia Network officially launched on January 5, 2022, it became a home not only for Welcome Home, but for a full slate of programming centered on food, design, and lifestyle. For Chip and Joanna, the goal wasn't just entertainment, it was creating television that felt warm, meaningful, and family-friendly, the kind they remembered watching growing up. That same year, they tackled one of Chip's longest-held dreams. On May 18, 2022, they announced plans to restore a nearly 100-year-old castle in Waco, a property Chip had tried and failed to purchase for almost 2 decades. The ambitious project became Fixer Upper, the castle, an 8-episode journey that symbolized persistence and patience. As their 20th wedding anniversary approached, Joanna reflected publicly on how much they had endured together. Financial strain, uncertainty, and moments that tested their resolve, and how each challenge had quietly shaped them. In December 2022, Joanna shared a lesser-known detail from the very beginning of their relationship. Early on, she had been forced to cancel a date with Chip due to unexpected back surgery, a complication from a cheerleading injury years earlier that required a microdiscectomy in 2001. The timing was inconvenient, even discouraging, but it never stopped the relationship from moving forward. By the end of 2022, Joanna's long-standing back issues resurfaced once again. Just days before Christmas, she underwent the same surgery she had years earlier, this time on a different disc, and entered recovery as the holidays arrived. In a candid moment shared online, Joanna Gaines posted a photo from her hospital bed, flashing a peace sign. For someone accustomed to constant motion, balancing 5 children, a television network, and multiple businesses, being forced to slow down was unfamiliar and uncomfortable. Rather than dwelling on limitations, Joanna leaned into stillness. She spoke openly about finding unexpected gratitude in the quiet, savoring the season, and being present with her children, especially her youngest son, Crew. What initially felt like an interruption became a pause she didn't know she needed. On February 15th, 2023, Chip Gaines marked their 20th wedding anniversary in unmistakably Chip fashion. He surprised Joanna with a massive handwritten message painted on the side of the Magnolia silos in Waco. The playful note, 20 years JoJo forever to go, was both public and deeply personal. Joanna shared the moment with humor, a reflection of how they've always balanced romance with laughter. The gesture followed a lighthearted post she had shared the day before, teasing how often she and Chip call each other babe in clips from fixer-upper projects. A month later, Joanna revealed something she had never said out loud before. Looking back on her first date with Chip, she admitted she knew almost immediately that she would marry him. His non-stop talking was the opposite of the quiet personalities she usually gravitated toward, yet she felt a sudden, undeniable certainty, as if something inside her simply knew. By April 26, 2023, the Gaines found themselves far from Waco, attending a White House state dinner hosted by President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden in honor of South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and First Lady Kim Ki-yeon-hee. The evening carried special meaning for Joanna, whose Korean heritage gave the moment a personal depth, especially following a recent visit she and Chip had made to Seoul. When their official anniversary arrived on May 31st, 2023, Chip marked the milestone with a heartfelt message, calling the last 2 decades a dream and expressing gratitude for the life they had built together. His words reflected not just celebration, but awe at the endurance of their partnership through change, pressure, and growth. That fall, on October 12, 2023, the couple expanded their storytelling ambitions once again, launching a podcast network under their production company. The move felt like a natural extension of everything they had built, another way to inspire, connect, and share meaningful stories beyond television. A month later, in November 2023, Chip and Joanna spoke candidly about how their marriage has evolved. Over time, they noticed they had begun to absorb pieces of each other. Joanna, once defined by structure, had grown more spontaneous. Chip, known for constant motion, had learned to value stillness. As they sent their oldest son off to college and began new projects like a boutique hotel in Waco, they acknowledged that change was challenging, but necessary. On March 5, 2024, they announced Fixer Upper, The Lake House, a 6-episode limited series centered on renovating a mid-century modern home near Waco. A decade after the original Fixer Upper premiered, their enthusiasm for transformation remained undimmed. By June 17, 2024, as they reflected on 10 years of Fixer Upper, Joanna shared that working alongside Chip still felt meaningful. For her, home had always been the heart of everything, the place where stories begin and memories last. And by October 24, 2024, the Gaines were once again being recognized for something increasingly rare, a family-centered, optimistic media empire that continued to thrive in an industry growing darker and more cynical. Speaking at a storytelling festival in New York, they emphasized that authenticity, not spectacle, had always been their foundation. From the start, Chip Gaines and Joanna Gaines have built their empire around brands and projects that reflect who they truly are, grounded, family-focused, and intentionally warm. Industry experts often point out that their success doesn't feel staged. As Joanna once said, "What you see on screen is pretty much how we live," and that authenticity has kept audiences loyal even as Magnolia grew into a massive business. That growth hasn't been without challenges. Over the years, the couple has faced lawsuits, regulatory fines, and public criticism, including accusations tied to inclusivity and representation. Joanna has admitted those moments were painful, saying they cut deep because they didn't reflect her heart or intentions. In response, the Gaines chose transparency and change, expanding the range of voices and stories featured across Magnolia Network. At home, life is shifting just as quickly. Watching their oldest son, Drake, leave for college was, in Joanna's words, really hard, especially knowing more transitions are coming as their children grow. Those changes have made the couple more aware of how fleeting this season of family life is. That emotional tension is visible in Fixer Upper, Colorado Mountain House, their first renovation project outside Texas. When Chip surprises Joanna with the Colorado property, her reaction is raw and unexpected. "I'm trying not to cry," she whispers after pulling up, unsure how to process what she's feeling. Chip, suddenly nervous, responds, "Oh no, you hate it." Joanna explains that while the setting feels magical, that sun coming in, those birds. The house itself raises doubts. With no closets or ensuite bathrooms, she admits, "I don't really know how we'd function in this space because we're just a bigger family." Chip gently reminds her, "Don't forget, a second ago, you cried. Good tears." The moment captures what has always defined the Gaines. Not perfection, but honesty. Even after decades together and an empire built on transformation, they're still navigating uncertainty, not just in houses, but in life, one emotional step at a time.